my dear chickadees. Welcome back to my nest. Now, make sure you cuddle up and grab some of these plushies and snuggle up real tight because we're diving back into Glass Hearts. Now, this is part 6, I believe, of Glass Hearts. If you haven't seen the other parts, they have their own playlist, so I suggest you go and check them out. Just please proceed with caution because there is a lot of unsettling themes in this game, and I do want all my chickadees to be safe and sound. Alright, let's dive back in and see what trouble our boy can get into this week. Oh, we better help freaking Moyu or I'm gonna lose it. Okay. Oh, right. We left off with going to see our useless psychiatrist. Alright. Let's back up a bit. So, you notice some headaches, a lack of appetite, nausea. Anything else? I'm just unwell, I think. There are days when I feel so weak I have trouble waking up and functioning like I normally would. We cannot stop the experimental therapy yet. Besides, we cannot be sure that your symptoms are caused by change in medication. Since you seem tired and not fully there, so to speak, I think we will double your dose of sleeping pills, only for today, so that you'll be able to recover from the stress you've been through and rest until tomorrow morning. We don't want sleeping pills. With the creepy crap that goes on in this hospital, we don't want sleepy pills. But the day has just started. You want me to sleep it off? It's for your own benefit, Mr. Song. Now take the pills. The psychiatrist waited for Kai to swallow the pills, then pulled out a small calendar from the drawer of his desk and tapped his fingers on one of the pages. Tomorrow afternoon, I've scheduled a private session with a psychiatry intern for you and your roommate. Since Mr. Lin is incapable of attending group therapy, I was hoping that a mini session like this will help him open up. The psychiatrist rearranged his glasses. Tell me, Mr. Song, are there any issues between the two of you? There's no issues. I don't think, because we say yes, we'll probably... I don't think there's any issues between us. We like our buddy. He's just having problems with his horrible nurse. No, not really. Whatever's up with Moyu, I don't think it's my fault. I hope it's not. It was recently brought to my attention that Mr. Lin's state has worsened drastically. He not only refused to eat and talk to the staff members, but also exhibits irrational aggression. He does? Are you sure? Are you sure we're talking about the same guy, Moyu? I've never seen Moyu acting aggressive towards anyone. Ever. I was hoping that, as his roommate, you'd be able to cast some light on this change in behavior. Oh no. Oh no. Don't tell him anything. Tell him that Moyu is not well. Do we trust the psychiatrist? That's the question. I don't want Moyu to get in trouble. If we don't tell him anything, he'll be suspicious. Tell him that Moyu is not well. Oh, I'm worried. What if we say something and it gets Moyu in even more issues? Well, I was thinking that maybe Moyu is in trouble. There were some events that led to him shutting me out, and I'm afraid that they could be connected to his behavior. What events are you talking about, Mr. Song? Damn it. I can't really tell him what I know, right? I don't know if I can trust him. I don't think that the staff members treat him well. He was very upset about his recent visit to the doctor. I saw some bruises on him that could... Before Kai could finish the sentence, Shu waved him off. Ah, yes, about that. I was informed that Mr. Lin had an episode of psychosis during his examination, and more drastic measures had to be taken to get him under control. It's been a while since he had any attacks, but usually he is fairly subdued during one. The psychiatrist tapped his pen against the table a couple of times, then sighed heavily. Go back to your room and rest, Mr. Song. Yeah, so he's already been fed all the bullshit by everybody else, so... Ever since the start of his experimental therapy, falling in and out of consciousness during the night became the new norm for Kai. He no longer slept deeply and peacefully like he used to, instead tossing and turning in his bed the entire night as if he had a fever. By the time intern Tang made it to their room around 6 p.m., Kai was already depleted of all the energy. Intern psychiatrist Tang. Have we seen him before? Kai, Moyu, hello. Thanks to the kind initiative of Long River Medical Direction, I was able to conduct a couple of private sessions for various patients in this hospital. You two are the last. Kai noticed that the man brought a simple folding chair with himself, which solved the problem of their room having no separate seats. He placed it between the two beds and sat down. It is good to see you again, Kai. How have you been? Wait, was this the guy that was hosting the the little meeting where everybody was sitting in a circle? I think it was, right? Could be better, I guess. I'm sorry to hear that. May I ask why? Bad mood or Moyu? I don't want to just throw Moyu under the bus. You know? I don't want to throw him under the bus and be like, well, Moyu is causing issues. We want Moyu to be able to trust us. We need to get him help, but can we trust Hank? And if we said something, would that make Moyu not trust us anymore? Let me see. Could be better. May I ask why? Moyu? Kai glanced to the side, managing to catch Moyu's doe eyes watching him right before darting the other way. His lips were pressed tightly together, forming a straight, solemn line. I don't think I can say that out loud. But the intern seemed to understand somehow and quickly changed the topic. Actually, what I was hoping to do today was trying to play a simple game with you two. I know that Kai likes games. How about you, Moyu? There's our baby! His roommate bit on his lower lip, looking torn for what must have been a few good minutes. The intern waited patiently for his answer, not trying to rush anything. I do too. It seems like even saying those two simple words out loud pained him. Whatever Moyu was going through, Kai could feel in the empty ache of his own heart. Great! In this case, I think we should start right away. We won't be needing any tools or anything like that. The game I had in mind is purely a word game. First, I'll start by choosing one thing that makes me happy. Then I'll describe why I feel this way. Kai barely restrained himself from rolling his eyes. What kind of game was that? I feel like going back to kindergarten. I like morning jogs. They make me feel healthy and fresh, and when my body is in good shape, so is my mind. Your turn, Moyu. Oh, come on, baby. You like nature. Say that. Go on. Don't be shy. There has to be something that you enjoy. What is it? The intern gave him some time to finish the sentence. But when it became clear that Moyu had no such intention, he prompted. Yes? I used to like dancing. Kai was momentarily reminded of the sight that was Moyu shirtless, with his still well-toned muscles and slender yet shapeful body. Back then, he had a thought that his roommate did some kind of sports, but dancing seemed to fit him even more, somehow. It felt ethereal and elegant, much like Moyu himself. Dancing? That's a great hobby. Is that what you did in your free time, often, Moyu? No. No? Not in free time. You did something else then? Something you enjoyed more? The intern looked confused for a moment, then just nodded and smiled at Moyu, dropping the topic. He turned towards Kai. How about you, Kai? It was hard to take his eyes off Moyu and look at the intern, but Kai knew that it wasn't right to stare at him anyway when Moyu so pointedly avoided his gaze. I like, we can write reading books or we can write Moyu. Oh no. He does love reading books. We do love reading books. Oh no, but if we say Moyu, is that going to make Moyu even more uncomfortable? I don't want him to be uncomfortable with us. I like Moyu. Even if he's in a bad mood, his presence alone always makes me happy. They continued to the what makes me happy thing for a little while longer, and to Kai's surprise and relief, it seemed like something about the simple exchange started breaking the wall of ice that Moyu surrounded himself with. He learned that Moyu had a sweet tooth, that he liked pets, and would sometimes visit animal shelters to take care of them, that he could drive, all the little things that made him seem more human, more approachable. His roommate even went as far as to sit on the edge of his bed, closer to Kai than he had been in days, looking at him openly as he spoke. Moyu's proximity was enough to drive him crazy. After a couple of rounds, intern Tang nodded, his lips stretched in a sincere smile. Good. Very good. Both of you did well, thank you. Since we come to get to know each other a little, let's try sharing what we dislike this time, what bothers or scares us. Oh no. we opened the door a little bit and made Moyu more comfortable, and now it's just gonna close right back up. Without giving it too much thought, Kai shared his fear of spiders and how their fuzzy little legs made his skin crawl. He was too preoccupied with the change in Moyu's behavior to come up with anything less trivial, and honestly, he was fine with it. When it was Moyu's turn, however, the man got tense all over again. I don't want to. It's important to be able to share our fears with others, Moyu. No one will judge you here. But Moyu just shook his head stubbornly, gaze dropping to his knees. No. At least help us understand why. Because he's blackmailed to the nines. Horrible Nurse Chin has blackmailed this boy and broke him down and sold him and everything to everybody. He's like, oh goodness, he can't say anything because he's afraid something will happen. When the intern inched closer, Moyu flinched as if backhanded. Kai's eyes widened. I'm sorry. I'll stay right where I am. The man measured his roommate with a troubled expression on his face. Kai half expected him to pull out a notebook and start ticking some boxes, like a psychiatrist did pretty much any time Kai opened his mouth in his office. I'm sorry for making you uncomfortable, Moyu. It was not my intention to cause you any distress. Moyu's lips pursed, parting and closing a couple of times, as if he couldn't decide whether he wanted to say something or not. Oh, he wants to! He wants to share so badly! Oh, I like Tang, okay? I think Tang's like the one actual good doctor in here so far. Good doctor, nurse, whatever. He's the only good one I've seen so far. Everybody else is horrible. It's no good. The intern tried to coax an answer from what Moyu meant for a good half an hour, but to no avail. Eventually, he gave up. I'll give you two some space now. Thank you for humoring me today. If either of you needs anything, my temporary office is on the second floor, door 31. Please feel free to stop by. An awful silence filled the room after the intern left. It was sad, heavy, and unbearable. Forgetting all about the promise he made to himself about keeping respectful distance, Kai relocated to Moyu's bed, sitting next to him. You have to know that, if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here for you. He couldn't just ignore what he witnessed, what he knew about Moyu, and whatever his roommate was facing, Kai didn't want him to be alone in it. No matter what you say, I won't judge or tell on you, and even if you probably don't feel you should, you can trust me. Moyu's facial expressions made it clear that he did, indeed, not fully believe in Kai's good intention, but Kai was already prepared for it. Here, I'll prove it. I'll tell you a secret about myself that almost no one knows, okay? I'll trust you to keep it. Kai took a deep breath. Was it really a good idea to share something as intimate with Moyu? What if his roommate freaked out and never spoke to Kai again after finding out? He shook his head. The truth was going to resurface eventually, and he had to take the chance to tell Moyu, if only because he started feeling something for him. Not that Kai had any intention of confessing anytime soon, if ever. He was perfectly content keeping his attraction to Moyu private, or so he told himself anyway. Me and my parents never really understood each other. Their views on life were not something I agreed on. When I got older, my opinions became much harder to mute out for them. And well, how do I put it? I could never hold my tongue back when I was younger. I said out loud whatever was on my mind, thinking that they should know the real me. That if I stayed silent, they would never find out who I am and what I stand for. Much of what I said was stupid and born out of stubbornness. But there were some things that I really meant. Things I knew. I hoped not, but I knew that they would never accept. Such as the fact that I like other men. It wasn't that obvious at the beginning. For the longest time, I was simply not interested in dating in general. So, how could I know anyone, right? Myself included. Except he kinda did. From the very beginning, when the other boys talked about girls, and he just couldn't. He couldn't. Kai didn't say that out loud. My parents' outburst when I finally told them didn't surprise me. For them, being gay meant that all the good things of this world had forsaken me, you know? It was bad, immoral, and sinful. Everything they always feared. I was ready for the judgmental looks, the disappointment, even the violence that followed it. I hoped that this knowledge would eventually build our relationship. That time will mend their pain, and if luck's on my side, help them understand. Even in 10 or 20 years. But the thing is, I did the opposite. It was a gradual process, but it was something neither of us could stop once it started. Whatever was left of us as a family slowly died out, and I finally had no other choice but to move on with my life as if I wasn't their son. I moved on, not knowing if I'll ever talk to them again. Kai clenched his teeth, fighting back tears that stealthily welled into his eyes as he was talking. Things weren't all that bad until I ran into Hussein, a man everybody says I murdered. But I didn't, Moyu. I don't think I could ever murder anyone, even if my life depended on it. It's just fucked up. Unloading all this on Moyu should have been unnatural and terrifying. But instead, Kai felt like a weight he hadn't even known he was carrying had been lifted from his shoulders. It was done. He spoke the truth. That's it. That's my secret. I'm sorry if you felt I made this about myself. I didn't mean to. I just wanted you to feel safer with me, and I probably failed anyway. But now you know. You have some dirt on me, so at least you can rest assured that I won't spill your secret so easily. When Kai finally looked at Moyu in the eye, he realized that his roommate watched him with more emotions than Kai had ever seen him display before. Moyu seemed remorseful, whether on Kai's behalf or because the story prompted some unwanted feelings in him as well. His brows knitted and his cheeks hollowed. Kai? After Moyu's lips uttered Kai's name, nothing followed for minutes, the word hanging in the air between them in an odd tension, like a password to some unknown riddle, a piece of information that Moyu wanted, but wouldn't give, despite all of Kai's efforts. And yet, strangely enough, it felt okay, like they got closer, somehow, even without exchanging any more words. In the quiet comfort of their room, the moment felt almost intimate. Aww. He opened up to Moyu, being like, listen, here's something I haven't told a lot of people. Aww. We've got Moyu to open up a bit more. Maybe he'll start trusting us. Aw, Moyu baby. Moyu hadn't told him much, but Kai was certain that the marks on his body were not accidental and had something to do with Chin, and probably Moyu's visit to the doctor too. A psychosis episode. For no reason at all, huh? A big part of him refused to acknowledge what that might have meant, so he told himself that there would be time to digest every possibility once he looked into the matter properly. Which wasn't easy to begin with, because who could he ask? Certainly not Moyu or Chin. The first already refused to answer, the other would just go crazy and make it even more difficult for Kai to grasp what was really going on. He munched on his rice ball in silence. Kai was alone at the table, as Moyu was taken to his physiotherapy right after eating. Apparently, during his last visit, the doctor assessed that his roommate's muscles needed to be put to work and strengthened if he didn't want to become disabled. And Kai could only hope that the massages and exercises would make Moyu feel better. Hopefully they're actually doing that and not something else. After everything I witnessed, I can't help but be worried about him. As he was looking around the cafeteria, his gaze fixed on a familiar face in the crowd. And as much as he did not want to ask Zhujing, of all people, for a favor, it seemed like that was his only chance of finding out the truth. It'd be better... Oh, I forgot his voice. It would be better for you not to get all worked up because of him, you know. You wouldn't stop them, so you might as well forget it. He knows something. The question is what he would request in exchange for the information. I have to help Moyu. I'll get Zhiying to cooperate, one way or another. Hey, can we talk? Huh? Oh, it's you, pretty boy. Look at this, coming to me for a chat after all this time. You must be getting lonely in your room with that quiet dove of yours. Can we talk or not? Because if not, then I won't waste any more of your time. Stuck up as always, eh? Fine, follow me. Here, no one will eavesdrop in this place. What did you want to talk about? I imagine it's not about the weather. I need to talk to you about Moyu. Moyu? What do you want to talk about your boyfriend with me? What has the world come to? He's not... What are you talking about? Sheesh, you go wherever he goes. I see you talking to him nonstop, even though a brick is more responsive than that guy. You even took him to the second floor. How naughty. Oh gosh. Stay silent or argue. I don't think it was naughty. A blind man could tell you're trying to get into his pants real bad. If you don't want people to know, try being less obvious. We're trying to save his booty, not get in his pants, though I'm sure Kai kinda wouldn't mind being in Moyu's pants, but Moyu's got a lot of stuff he's putting up with right now. We're trying to help him. You really are crazy. As far as I'm aware, so are you. We're locked in here for a reason, no? I'm starting to regret this. I came to you because something bad is happening to Moyu. I figured maybe you'd be cool enough to indulge me this time. If not for my sake, then for fellow patients. Was I wrong? Everyone here is obsessed with him. I found out pretty early on and it bugged me, but I guess I kind of pushed it to the back of my mind at first. It wasn't that hard to ignore when I had so much shit going on with everything else. But things happened and I don't even know. I don't know how to describe it or go about this. Something's weird and scary is happening. Yesterday, Moyu came to the room with bruises and, other marks. He was covered in them. I just don't understand. He wouldn't talk to me. We're not that close, actually. If he says one or two words, I'd be happy. But in this case, he told me nothing. I only know it has something to do with our nurse, because that guy, he is creepy as hell. There's no one here that I could ask about him. No one but you. So I need you to tell me what you know. Please. No one but me. And what if I knew nothing about him as well? But back then in the cafeteria, you said I might have lied. Listen, pretty boy. In this place, things have their order. Not everything is so easy to understand without any context. But also, the rules you're used to, the laws of the outside world, do not necessarily apply here. What are you trying to say? You think it's shocking that people are allowed to push you around like a bag of potatoes? That no one listens? That they treat you as a thing not worth paying any attention to? That they think you're garbage just because you're here? That you have no say in anything? That you're slowly losing your sense of self? I'm not wrong, am I? No, I guess not. But there's an even darker side to this hospital than the one you've seen and experienced so far. A world of favors and deals in which patients are only pawns, hoping to maybe raise their position in the ladder a little bit, or worse yet, not knowing anything at all about it. Everyone here wants something. Usually it's either drugs, money, or sex. Sometimes all of the above. And Chen is one of the most important nurses here. He has power. He knows people. Other nurses listen to what he says and seek to make deals with him. From what I know, his pockets are full of cash. Chen is also a creep. Always has been. It doesn't take a genius to notice he has the hots for your cute roommate. Cold dread creeped up Kai's spine. I don't know what he does with him exactly, but I mean, maybe it's better not to. Unless you really, really want to dive into this rabbit hole. You probably figured that much by yourself. But whatever, you won't find but whatever you find won't be pleasant. Kai swallowed hard. Did he truly have anything to lose at this point? He cared about Moyu. It was worth it. I wouldn't have sought you if it wasn't serious. All this for a guy that barely notices your existence. And you are calling me crazy. Fine. I guess I might be able to get some information on him. But it will take, well, breaking into places. And a favor. Naturally. I wonder what favor he wants to give us. What favor? Is it going to be something we're going to regret later? Probably. About breaking in, yeah, we could get in trouble. I'm curious about both of them. I bet he wants us to, like, break into Chin's office or, like, a, record room. What kind of favor? Funny that you ask about that and not breaking in. Well, who knows? I'm not sure yet. But I'm pretty certain I'll have a use for a favor from you in the near future. Unless you'd like to pay in some other way. That's what I thought. A favor, then. Fine. Good. Because it won't be easy getting into the off-limit areas. No matter what time of day. We will need a way in. And if I'm going to find one, I'm not doing it for free. We? Where will we go? Where are we going? The nurse station. I'll find you when the time comes. Do try to lay low until then. Thank you for doing this. I know you don't have to. There'll be time to thank me later, I assure you. So we're going to be breaking in somewhere, huh? So if we're breaking into the nurses station, what are we hoping to find? Like, records of what's going on? Maybe? Huh. Well, that's going to be interesting. That's going to open up a whole new bag of worms. But, wow. We actually covered some stuff. We got Moyu to open up a little bit. We hopefully told him something to help him trust us a bit. And we've employed the help of a fellow patient. Like, at a price, of course. But, I mean... we gotta help Moyu. We gotta help Moyu. I still think he's selling Moyu to the other nurses for money. And taking pictures of him and selling that. I really think that's the case. But I guess we're gonna find out the more we get into this. Hopefully we'll get something juicy when we break in. Hopefully we won't get caught. Oh my gosh. That would not bode well for Kai. Okay. Thank you for watching, my dear chickadees. If you like this, please consider leaving a like or a comment down below so I know. It helps me be inspired to get the parts out quicker. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.